Hey Nick,
Hey, Wyatt.
did you know I used to work at a factory making calendars?
A calendar factory, eh?
Yeah, they fired me because I guess I took a few days off. We don't have it yet. Hello. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Grab a drink. Grab a blanket. Do whatever you need. This is We Don't Have It Yet. I'm Wyatt. That's Nick, and we are your hosts
Hey,
on
I
this.
have energy today. Wyatt's being calm. What up? I'm happy to be here. Back with my buddy Wyatt. He's back after the holidays. It's me and Wyatt. He wasn't here last week, and now he's back, and I'm happy again.
And this is Wyatt.
Yeah, he's got a slight smirk on his face, folks. You can't see it, but he looks reasonably amused with my ridiculousness. So I'm gonna keep going with it a little bit. I think he needs it.
I think you should. Hey Ben, it's been a while. We haven't really,
I
we haven't
know, buddy.
recorded
Yeah,
together in almost a month at this point, I'd say. We haven't really
yeah.
even
So
talked a
we
whole
we
lot over the
well,
last few weeks.
our plan to give ourselves the holidays off, I think, worked out pretty well there. In so much as that now we're sitting here going, wait, what the hell did we talk about the last time that we talked? Because, yeah, that was mid December.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good time to recharge. It was kind of nice having the time off to relax. I will say that last week's episode with our wonderful friend John Splett from Extra Napkins is the first episode of ours I've actually listened to because I didn't hear any nasally annoying voices on that podcast. So I got a nice, I think,
Well,
hour and
first of
11
all,
minutes of
you heard
listening.
plenty of nasal, annoying voice. It was just mine in a slightly lower register than your own. But yeah,
Exactly.
mega thanks to John for helping out last week. And he's a dude. He's a podcast broadcast professional. Let me tell you. I asked him to like if he has time to come on, and it's off to the races. Like there's no, I need prep. What do you need to talk about? What do you want to do? He's just like, all right, yeah, cool. I'll see you there, and makes life
Many
easy.
thanks.
Yep. So
Yeah,
he,
John and Ian had us on
podcast
their
pros.
podcast a while ago when we started up about 6 months ago. At this point, I think we're into this. Well, this
Golly.
is episode I think 23, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, which will
are we?
put us 26 weeks is half a year.
Wow.
So
Wow. Milestone
I know
show.
this is like the longest commitment I've had outside of a relationship in a long time. You
Oh,
know,
I'm
usually I
honored.
get about 2 or 3 months into a
And you
hobby, and
get
my
bored with it
ADD
and have to
goes,
move
"Yeah, I'm
on.
like, I'm not perfect at this, so I'm gonna go do something else instead."
Yeah. Time to find a new hobby beyond Nick.
Yeah, but no, this is
Oh, you stuck with
it's.
me.
Yeah, well, you stuck with me too. It's been a lot of fun, doing this. Hopefully, we keep it going. I don't see why we wouldn't. It's been a lot of
Until I'm
fun,
told there won't
and
be Cuban sandwiches again in the future, I'm rolling
yeah,
with it.
right. As we've said before, that was essentially our entire reason for starting this podcast was being told that we could have Cuban sandwiches down at Really Rad Weekend. Shout out to Joe Alonzo for keeping that promise and giving us those amazing Cuban
Yeah,
sandwiches.
well, no, yeah, true to his word. Joe said, if you guys start a podcast, I will put you on Really Red Weekend as guests if you record at least 3 episodes. And yeah,
We went 20 episodes over that.
yeah, look at us.
So, how was your Christmas? Haven't really talked to you a whole lot, even outside of the show, since we stopped
I
recording.
know, man. It's so crazy how yeah, it just kind of slips through your fingers. But it was cool. It was a lot of downtime, which is I think was needed by all. You guys know it on your end as well. You were off work through the end of the year, so I'm sure that
God,
that
it was
felt
nice.
nice. Yeah, and so my son gets a pretty good break here in the Midwest because they have a shorter summer, but so he gets just over 2 weeks at the holidays,
Nice.
which was pretty good. Yeah, so it was me and him a couple days in there. We went to Interium. hit the arcade, played some games together, did some Time Crisis stuff together, dined around town at various hot dog spots, went bowling, all good stuff, man. But a lot of, I was saying to John, a lot of garbage week, I think he calls it, a lot of just downtime, chilling. Everybody just kind of lazing around the house with nothing specific needing to do, which is just a really nice feeling. Um,
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of tucks into their various hobbies or projects, and we might have a communal thing on the TV and be sitting in the room all kind of sucked into our own worlds, but it's just kind of nice, just lazy. What do you want to do for dinner in 3 hours? And that's the biggest thing you have to worry about. It's a good way to be, at least for a week.
You
Then you start
know,
getting bored.
if I really feel like, a lot of people say, once you have too much money, you can't be happy, this or that. If my biggest worry was, what am I going to make for dinner in three
Yeah.
hours? Sure, I don't know that because I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure I'd be pretty happy just puttering around my house with my various projects and then thinking about what I want to make for dinner.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that there aren't external forces in the
Oh,
world
no,
that
no,
bring
I
an
know.
unbelievable sense of anxiety and dread, Wyatt. I'm just saying that
Money can fix it. I
kept
don't
to
care
my
what people
own
say. You have
small
enough
cloud
money.
bubble, I can retain sanity in a pleasant way of nothingness.
No, that's my dream.
Yeah.
That is my dream.
But no,
Yeah,
I mean, I got some. Santa was very good to me. He was very good to me. My parents sent me a CD player that I've been eyeing up for a long time. That I think has been in our Discord chat many times
yeah, is
because
that the like the
Joe,
faux
Joe,
wood looking one?
yeah, Joe recommended it. So I've been having a lot of fun with that, hooking that up to the preamp and everything, and getting that going, and listening to my CDs again, which is awesome. And I have to track some more down. And then Santa Claus, aka my lovely wife, gifted me an AYN Odin 3 handheld, which is
Oh, damn.
kind of the creme de la creme at this point. And yeah, so I think it shipped right before Christmas and arrived on Christmas Eve because these are the first units to go out from pre-order out of Hong Kong, Shenzhen, wherever they're shipping out of. So that was a pretty huge surprise. She signed up for the pre-order and did that. And yeah, I mean, it's my cup runneth over because it's a bit of a Ferrari. I have no idea what to do with it. I just kind of stare at it and think about how nice it is at the moment. Um,
I was gonna ask you, how much? What's the split between tinkering and actually playing games on it so far?
oh, 80-20, no doubt. Yeah, 20% games, 80%. I wonder if this would work, and let's find out. And there's a lot of that going on because, like what we talked about a ways back, was I think we brought it up when we were talking about the Steam platforms that are going to be releasing, the Steam console and everything.
Yep.
The big deal to me was FX, which is the translation layer that allows native Windows programs to run on Android, which of course has just opened up a whole just ton of stuff in the world of Android-based console gaming that I'm into, like this Odin 3. And so right now it's kind of the Wild West, and it's bleeding edge, stuff where a lot of it hasn't been tested yet. So fun is integrating your Steam library and seeing what'll happen,
Yep.
and just tweaking that around and like, well, okay, that was weird, but what if I run it on Proton 9 as the translation layer, and we have that? I'm into that shit, man. Yeah, it makes me happy. I just think it's so neat that I can sit back and just be like, yeah, I'm very pleased that I made that work. Now what? None of it actually
Now
involves
what else
playing
can
the
I make
game.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it boots up and it plays for the first 5 minutes. Awesome. On
Yeah,
to the next thing.
yeah. Let's see what else I can do. And that's just the nature of me. It's a shiny new thing, so I want to
Yeah.
test, what it can do around the track before I start making it a daily driver.
No, I absolutely get that. Going along those lines, Santa Claus sent me a Anbernic RG 557. I
Oh
didn't know
wow, what
Santa
a nice
Claus.
Santa
Yeah,
Claus! Who is that?
Santa Claus apparently lives out in Chicago,
Mhm.
from what I see,
And has a wealth of
and
retro handheld devices laying around his basement that he likes to share.
has a family that looks suspiciously like you and your family.
Oh yeah, it came with a card.
Yeah, so I'm very appreciative. Thank you, Nick, for sending me that. That
Oh,
was
Merry
wholly
Christmas, buddy.
unexpected, but kind of exactly what you said. I've had it for, I think I got it maybe close to right after we recorded our last episode. So I've had it for about 3-ish weeks now.
Yeah, I don't even
And
remember when. I knew I sent it before Christmas, but I don't even remember when I sent it.
it was the end or the like late middle of
I think it
December.
was
And I think
whenever
we
we like
recorded
sent
our
Christmas cards
last,
out, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna throw this in a
yeah.
box for Wyatt." So they probably came at the same time.
Yeah. So it was, it's been a lot of fun. Kind of like you said, I've spent more time tinkering with it and adding games and just seeing if this works, and really started getting into Moonlight and the PX Play apps, which for anyone that doesn't know what those are, Moonlight essentially lets you stream your desktop computer to a
Yeah.
handheld
So,
console. It can either boot right into like Steam Big Picture, so you're
hmm
just essentially streaming your Steam games, or you could actually boot right into your desktop if for whatever reason you wanted to use your
well,
desktop, or if you were playing a non-Steam game that you wanted to load up.
Moonlight goes along with Sunshine on your
Sunshine,
client PC, and I
yes,
believe that those are specifically designed to be uh, forks for people running AMD based
yep,
graphics cards. Because they have
yep.
some driver and functionality issues with Steam Link, maybe, or there's another Moonlight Sunshine that I'm not remembering at this point
There's
in time.
Apollo and
Now there,
Artemis,
that's what I
maybe.
was gonna say. That there is now. That's the greatest thing about free and open source world, man. Is like people take from this and build their own thing. So then now there's a fork called Artemis and Apollo. I think is the
Yeah,
PC client. And the neat thing about Artemis and Apollo is Apollo will stream games to your handheld at the handheld's native resolution automatically and do it headlessly from the PC, which I think is really cool. So it solves a lot of display issues. But people probably, we just glossed over the device. Yeah, so
oh yeah, it's an
and people
Android-based handheld.
don't know what Ambernick is. It's well, this is still a niche hobby, but
I'll
I
let
think
you
it.
explain what Ambernick is,
Well,
since you are Amber Nick.
Ambernick has become kind of the Kleenex or the Coke
Yeah,
of that world, in so much as the name has just become synonymous with any handheld emulation device. But they are specifically probably the front running company that people are most familiar with, by virtue of nothing else, that they just release an obscene amount of devices.
they flood the market.
Yes, so they will generally they'll take January and February off because of Chinese New Year, but other than that, they'll generally release a brand new SKU every month, pretty much,
Which is so wild.
and have been doing so for the past 3 years almost. And as we got out of, the time goes on, tech ramps up, people's demands do as well. They've gotten higher tiered, more expensive, more powerful, everything. So the one that I sent to you is running the Dimensity 8200 chip, which is a brand new processor. And I think the biggest problem that there's been so far was just a lack of driver support because it was so new.
Yep.
Um, but I know that you got Gamma, I think, installed on it, which
Gamma
is
OS. Yep.
it's the community Android build that's specifically tailored for, like, rather than feeling like a phone with a controller attached to it, it makes it feel a lot
It
more like an actual
feels like a handheld gaming
handheld
device.
gaming dedicated device now. Yeah.
Yeah, it boots right into oh god, what's the front ends?
Daijisho.
Yes, Daijiso.
Yeah.
It boots right into that. So essentially, it just brings you right to your video game menu, and then depending on what you have put on there for emulators and whatnot, you can scroll through your NES, SNES, Dreamcast, etc., etc., etc. It's been a lot of fun. I still don't think I've really hit the potential of what it can do,
Yeah.
obviously,
Well, I
because
don't think it has either, because you're still going to have newer
yeah,
drivers coming out for stuff like Switch emulation to get better and things like that.
yeah, that's about
PC,
the one thing that I haven't been able to get
yeah,
going super well is Switch
it's
stuff,
just a
and
driver
that's
issue. Yeah, just
yeah,
just got to give it a little more time. But it should be built really well for translating PC stuff. Honestly, that
yep,
processor is a beast. Is there
yeah. I
anything that you
played
have been playing on it?
a little bit.
It's
It's
funny. I'll end
basically
up
like
still,
you. It's been 80-20.
yeah, that's what it is. And then it's that 20 ends up being something that I could run on a potato like Balatro or something. But I was
I
gonna
mean,
say
I've
maybe
been
you got a
playing
game
it.
of tape to tape in or something.
I tried tape to tape. It worked pretty well. I tried a lot of just different PC things just to be like, oh, cool, this can run this. Like I
Right.
said, like,
I was like,
oh, I
oh,
got
let's
this
see
working.
what this 3D game does when I fire at it
Yeah,
and stuff. And we're so far past like, yeah, SNES, NES,
that
all
can
that stuff.
run on a
It's
toaster
done.
at this
That's
point.
it. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
finished. As is like PlayStation, and for a lot of intents and purposes, like PlayStation 2. Now you're starting to see your device will run PS3 games, by the way, if you want to
yep,
take that leap. But and I've said this before, what's interesting to me in emulation and what makes it so exciting to me now is taking a device like this and playing a PS2 game that now feels like an HD remaster that they've re-released for $60, and I can just do that on a slider by saying, "Hey, render the game natively at 1080p."
three at
Boom,
2.5x.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically been what most of my time with this has been is playing PS2 games. Just because that I wouldn't say that's my favorite generation, but it was right in like the middle of I think what PS2 came out
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was 13 years old or so, so I was really like hitting my quote unquote stride with games and stuff. So like in my adolescence, that was the system that I played
Mm-hmm.
most, through middle school and early high school. So going back and playing, I fired up Final Fantasy X.
Yeah,
I
I
I
haven't
have
played
that
that
for like
since
every
the first
system.
thing. Yeah, first time I
Yeah,
played
I
it
mean it
on
had
PS2.
a remaster on PS3, another one on PS4.
Vita.
Steam had like every console since PS2.
Yep.
But I wanted to see what it was like. I downloaded the International Edition, which is the only one because the console has retro achievement support, which is something I've
Yeah.
never
Oh yeah.
used at all.
Retro
And
achievements
I'm like,
is
you know what?
amazing.
It especially for the little dopamine hits
It's
that
wonderful.
people at
Yeah.
our mental states that love having.
Yeah.
The international
For
edition
anybody
of
that
Final Fantasy X was the
yeah.
only one that had retro
Oh,
achievement
that had
support.
support for achievement. Yeah,
Uh,
they're
yeah,
still like PS2 era. They're still getting there with all the retro
yeah,
achievement stuff. But for anybody that doesn't know, Retro Achievements is a free community-driven service that adds, I guess, what would be the equivalent of Xbox achievements or
yeah,
PlayStation trophies to old games. And so, easy example: Punch Out on NES. There's an achievement, obviously, for beating each guy, but there's also like a ton of different time run achievements. Do it in less, beat this guy in less than that amount. Like, and they're all community driven, so anybody can make something. It just has to get
yep,
approved, and then it gets incorporated into the game. And like Wyatt said, you're playing a game you've played a million times on NES, but now you get that added little dopamine rush of the going, boop, you just got an achievement. And then there's a widget for your device where you can track all your stuff, or if you can log in via a web browser and kind of look at all the games you've played. It really adds a new layer to retro gaming, really.
it's Xbox basically when 360 came out and they created the whole achievements,
Uh,
uh,
were they the
thing
first to do it
that
before Steam or anybody?
Steam may have.
I don't know. I'm
Um,
asking.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's between Microsoft and Steam. I genuinely don't know which one did the achievements first.
Hmm.
In console gaming, it was Xbox. Overall, I don't know. But basically, that kicked off an entire, like, everything. The only ones that don't do it now, Nintendo. I don't think they do any type of
They have
achievements
badges,
type. Oh, they do have badges,
but I don't really
which
know what they are or what they do or anything. Yeah.
it's not as prevalent
Yeah.
as the trophies or the achievement points in Xbox. And I've never been the type of person that's been an achievement hunter or anything, but like you said, it's kind of nice, like, oh cool, I just killed King
It makes
Koopa
you
with a
feel good
fireball.
inside. That's all.
Yeah,
It's just goes boot up. You're the shit, and you go, ah, I am, aren't I? That's it. It's just
I
that
got
fleeting
15
moment.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also just kind of cool to be like, to someone that likes to track their stuff, you can, go back and see, what do I need to do? Or it's a way to find, certain, not necessarily exploits, but certain things in games that, you'll see this achievement and be like, oh, how the heck do I do that? And it
there
just
is
gives
a
you another layer of
That's a really good point.
exploration.
There's so many times where I see achievements listed under a game where I'm like, I thought I knew this game back, front, and upside down,
Right.
and apparently there's another level that I didn't even know about, like things like that. Because back in the day on systems like NES, if somebody didn't show it to you, It's not like there was out there and it was going viral as a video on YouTube or something. Like
Yeah, right.
if it wasn't in your purview, you didn't know about it.
But yeah, so going along with that, that's PS2. I fired up Final Fantasy X, which I've only played about an hour or so of, but I just wanted to see what the upscaling
Hmm.
looked like on it. And like you said, it looks just as good as the PlayStation 3 remake
Yeah, you can
of,
break
or not,
frame.
remaster
Yeah,
rather
you can break
of.
frame limits too. So if a game
Yeah.
is only ever supposed to run at 30, you can jump it up to 60, and it looks
So now I just got to get
amazing.
lossless scaling running on it in addition to those things, and
Well, that's kind
really
of already
unlock.
going on a little bit, I think, and I have a really difficult time tracking it because everybody has their own proprietary version. But
Hmm.
if we're already talking about lossless scaling as a Windows only program, and we're talking about FX translation for Windows applications, but there's already a Vulkan based version of lossless scaling that runs natively on Linux, thus, how it runs on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
Follow me here.
Hmm.
Everything is coming over. I think you're going to start seeing it basically anywhere and everywhere, if not from the devs themselves, from community members and ports. So sky's the limit, and that stuff like that is just going to be amazing. And you're just going to need a processor that can push the shaders or what have you, but lossless scaling is not intensive at all. So I really
And it's
think that
amazing.
yeah,
It's literally sorcery. I just don't understand it. Like just how amazing the product
yep.
is. And what is it, $7 or something? Or it was
It's
super cheap.
I mean, I appreciate that if it's not a single dev at this point, it's a small team. It is sold for 69 or 6.99, or goes on
Yeah,
sale
and I think it goes
for
on sale for like
it
420.
goes on sale for 420. So obviously, money is not everything to some people, and I appreciate them
Yeah,
existing because that's one of the best programs ever.
it really is. But yeah, so again, thanks for sending that out to me. It's
Oh,
been a lot of
buddy.
fun to screw with.
Oh yeah, it gives us something fun to talk about. And plus, I can demand that you like have to play something with me if I so choose. Be like, I gave you that thing, so now you have to log online and play with me and feel bad. No.
Speaking of, you also sent me, my birthday was over our break. You also sent me like a Dragon Ishin,
Oh
which
yeah.
I've yet to fire up yet. But
I
so
got
I guess
that was another present I got from my parents actually, because I guess it was on my Amazon wish list. Was I got like a dragon. Oh God, you're gonna test me now. It's the samurai one that occurs in feudal Japan.
yeah, that's the Ishin one.
Oh, that is Ishin. Okay, yeah, then I got that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh wait, so what are
That's
the
what you'd say
remakes
when I got
called?
that.
What are the? Oh, that's
Kawami.
Kawami. Okay, I'm sorry, getting
Yeah,
all
which
confused.
I probably butchered the pronunciation. So
Kaiwami, Kawami, whatever. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
then we both got the samurai one.
yeah, and that's what you had said. You're like, oh yeah, I got it too. So now we're both gonna have to play
I'm
it
a dum dum.
because it's content. Always the content
Always the
machine.
content machine. I did install it and like went through opening cinematics, which is never a small thing in like a Dragon
In
Yakuza game.
Yakuza games, absolutely not.
So I'm like sitting at the point now where I'm like in the town and about to go off on adventures. But I think I did it all streaming. Actually, now that you mention it, just streaming the Xbox locally on. Are you using any Xbox app yet, or are you just using the native
Not
one? Have
yet
you tried it?
because I'm not sure where my Series X is. I know I moved it
Fair.
here and it's in its box, but it's probably packed away downstairs with my other video game stuff that's not in the loft.
No,
But
there's
no,
a
I haven't done any Xbox
free.
stuff yet.
There's a free open source. This is just the Foss hour today. A free open source app called Better X Cloud.
Yeah, I believe that's the one I used on my Steam Deck, actually.
Yeah, and it's brilliant for both cloud streaming and local streaming, and it's
Yep.
free open source. Now there is a pay version which goes along with the PlayStation one. I think you mentioned, which
Yep,
is
that's
also
PX
brilliant.
Play.
Yes, yes, thank you. Say that again. What was it? P
PX Play.
PX Play. Oh, and it was XBX Play. I think was the
Yes,
Xbox one or something. And
XBX
they were
Play,
both
yeah.
$5. Both great programs, but now there's a free version. So what are you gonna do?
I think the Xbox One. I was reading up on this because I got my behind me, which you can't see because it's under the entertainment center. But I hooked back my NVIDIA Shield Pro back up to my TV, and I
Oh,
want to
nice.
use
Yeah.
that to stream stuff to the TV behind me because why not? You
You
know,
got your new TV set
I
up there and everything now. It's good.
yeah, yeah, it was a nice little thing I got myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was either the Xbox One or there was a PlayStation One, but someone I want to say it's the Xbox One, that they get contacted by Microsoft and they basically took down all their stuff. They're like, I can't really talk about it anymore, but like I'm no longer allowed to support this. You know, I'm not going to do any more updates and stuff. And people
Oh,
are like
interesting.
people are kind of hinting that like Microsoft not necessarily gave him a cease and desist, but may have reached out to this person to help Microsoft work on their
I
own
was gonna say they
proprietary,
might have
since
given him a
theirs
job.
was.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what happened because the guy was like, I can't talk about it because a lot of people were saying, oh, did Microsoft, give you something? The
Yeah.
guy's like, I can't talk about it now,
There's an
but
NDA involved now.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I think that's great, and that's the really cool thing about at least to me. Of course, it sucks for a lot of people, but doing a passion project, an open source passion project, and being noticed by the company that you're not necessarily ripping off,
Absolutely.
but you're improving their product, and
Yeah.
then instead of that company being like, we're gonna slap a cease and desist on you, why don't you come work for us?
Yeah.
Like, if you could do this just open source, like maybe you could help us make our product better. And of
As
course, that
long as
sucks for the open source
I
community,
was gonna say, as
but
long as the community gets to keep the original product and they're not buying that out, which then take it and turn it into for profit kind of thing. But I always
right.
love anything. Well, talking about also scaling, where the solo small guy or the small team of indie devs does what the big dudes with infinite resources can't. That just makes me happy inside. Is that Nvidia is pumping God knows how much untold amounts of money into this stuff. Actually,
They
they
got
don't give a shit
lapped.
about gaming at the moment, do they? But they
Yeah.
have infinite budget. But here's David and crew who are just enthusiasts, figured out how to do it themselves, do it better, and will sell it to me at a price that's incredibly cheap. I just love that.
Just sitting here thinking in my head about anything else I've used, handheld wise, but it's kind of funny. I'm not necessarily turning into you, but I have a drawer in my bedroom now. Hoo-hoo. Just filled with like, I have my Switch in there. I have my Steam Deck in there. I've got the RG 557 in there. I think you
My poor
sent
Switch
me
is
a while ago. You sent me uh, I think it might have been an Ambernick too. The GBA SP
the
clamshell.
RG35XXSP. Yeah, they all have really difficult
Yeah,
naming conventions
yeah,
too.
that's in there. So I literally just have a drawer of like gaming handhelds. It's like, oh, what do I want to do now? Oh, Switch. All right, let's play something on Switch.
That's the way I feel lately.
But
Is like my cup runneth over. I mean, there's so much stuff that's so capable. And I was just saying to you before this, last week, writing for the website, I'm fortunate enough to have a ROG Ally Xbox show up in the mail.
yeah, I can't believe that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think I have an article about upgrading the internal storage coming out today. If you're interested, well, it'll already be out. But just looking at that, I don't really know what to do with my Steam Deck now,
It
because
seems like it's kind of the
it makes it
same
redundant.
arena.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, and we're talking about naming conventions and things being confusing. Um, so the ROG Xbox Ally, which is not the ROG Xbox Ally X, which is $400 more and sells for $1,000, but the normal one has an AMD Ryzen Z2A chip, right? Which is a 4-core, 8-thread chip. The Steam Deck has an AMD Zen 2, not a Z2A. They have a Zen 2 APU, which just so happens to be a 4-core, 8-thread processor. It's the same damn chip. AMD can call it whatever they want. They might have designed it for Steam or for Valve, which I believe, but now they're using it in other stuff and just slapping a different badge on it, more or less.
Yeah.
Same amount of RAM, same exact hard drive as my. I don't have the OLED Steam Deck. I should mention that. I have the old LCD one.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
But now this guy has, and it's still only an IPS screen. It's not an OLED, but it has a 120 hertz screen, which looks phenomenal. But it'll never be as bright as the OLED Steam Deck, which I think gets up to like 1,000 nits. This max is like 500. So
Yeah.
OLEDs are on a different level. But so because they're so similar, I'm kind of conflicted. What I the Xbox experience, full screen experience, I think what they call it, is actually quite good. It makes skinned Windows very usable. But it's still skinned Windows 11 running on a handheld. And it's bizarre if you back out of that, like Microsoft, I don't know what they're doing, man. Like
They don't know what they're doing.
it's not a version of Windows 11 made for a mobile device. It's not it's not anything but stock like Windows 11
It's
running
Windows
on a
11.
7-inch touchscreen. It's so dumb, man. So I was like, do I install SteamOS or Bazzite or whatever I want to do? I don't know what the future shall hold, but like, what do I do with a Steam Deck now? It's like, and both of them can play anything. Like we're just talking about with the 556. We're at a point now where
Yeah.
any of these devices can play all the emulation stuff. They can stream my home consoles. They can stream from my PC. They can stream from the cloud. They can do local PC stuff. Like it's just nuts. And this is how you end up at an 80-20 break, I suppose, between
Right. It's
tinkering
literally
and
just
actually
tweaking.
playing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe you could hold on to it if you wanted to for the kid to give it to him at some point.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you still have enough things that you wouldn't necessarily.
Dude, yeah, this kid's a spoiled brat by association. Not even because I'm giving him stuff, just because he gets all my trickle downs from my own nerdisms. So, like, his friends are like, God, your parents give you anything. No, your dad's just a freaking nerd who writes about video games and gets sent consoles, dude.
Speaking of nerd stuff,
yeah.
During our break, I had a buddy that invited me over to his house to hang out, and we played some N64, which was great. It was kind of cool playing some local multiplayer gaming after a long time of not really being able to play couch co-op. But after a couple hours of that, he was like, "Do you want to play Magic?" And I was like, Magic the Gathering. I did know that what he meant, and I knew he wasn't like, "Do you want to do magic tricks?" Which I also would have been like, "Yeah, sure, that'd be cool." But he was like, "Do you want to play Magic?" I'm like, "Dude, I have never touched or seen a Magic card in my life." He's like, "Oh, I haven't been playing that long. I'll show you how."
It would have been
And
great
had,
though
like,
if he
this
like
whole
opened the closet and came out with a rabbit or
Just
something. Like, yeah, just walks out with a top
Pulls
hat
out a
and
magic wand
and a hair. Yeah, I've never played Magic the Gathering in my
any
life
card games.
ever.
I've never played any type of like collective card games. Obviously, I've played card games, 52 cards. But no, but he was like, "Yeah, I play with my neighbor." And I guess his neighbor's in like his late 50s or so. So it was like, that's kind of cool that, it's a whole.
Well, hell, it's been around for what, 30 plus years now. I mean,
like
I was in middle school when it broke.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he had like this whole starter pack, and he was kind of showing me and explaining it to me, and I hate to say it, but I really enjoyed it.
You got the bug?
I was like, crap. I'm like, this is fun. I hate that this is fun. I don't need more.
You're a hobby chameleon,
hobbies.
man. Yeah, you're.
I really am.
You're such an enthusiast and a fan of things, and it's like somebody introduces you, and you're always like, "Yeah, I could get into this now."
I just love life.
Yeah.
There's so many things to experience.
Well, that's
thing. Why I want to have all the money in the world, so I could just try all of these hobbies and not have to worry about wasting my 40 plus hours a week, grinding it for the man. Which at least, I got to cut out about 40 hours a week grinding it for myself, since I no longer have the business. And that's the only reason why I'm really able to enjoy any other hobbies at this point.
And we're here.
Because, yeah, that's exactly. Like, if I didn't shut down my business, I probably would be committed at this point, because it was getting pretty crazy there towards the end with how busy I was and how little time I had. But anyway, yeah, so the thing that really drew me in was we were playing a best of 3, because I think normally Magic has done best of 3 games or whatever. And
it's like tennis sets?
We were in more or less, yeah.
Okay.
I think we were at the 3rd game, and we started off playing, and I was just getting smoked. Like, so essentially, just to give you like a high level idea of what Magic is,
yeah.
Basically, you each, and I'm going to get most of this wrong, and anyone that listens to this that knows Magic can call us out on it, because I have a very rudimentary understanding of this so far.
I know nothing.
But essentially, yeah. So I think you create your own decks. You can either get pre-built decks that have cards in them, or, out of your collection, you can build your own like deck. This is what I want to use. I think we played 30 cards each. So you select 30 cards that you want to use, you put them in a pile, and you basically shuffle them up. You get each person takes 7 cards out of their deck. You don't show the other person, and you play the cards in your hand. And there's I'm not going to get too big into like you do this and then do that.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, it's turn-based play. You play your whole turn, then the other person goes, and then there's an attack and defense phase, and it goes with whatever you have on the board. But you start with 20 life points, and if you get knocked down to 0 life points, you lose the hand. You lose the game. That's essentially how it goes.
Is it always
And
one-on-one?
I
Heads up?
yeah, it doesn't have to be one-on-one. From what I've told, I think there's a game called Commander, I think, and that can be 4 people, which sounds just it'd be one-on-one,
Oh, okay.
which just sounds really wild to me. But anyway, I got knocked down. I was down, I think, like 19 to 1 health. And I was just like, ah, come on, man. I'm like, this sucks. Like, and like this was out the gate. Like, I was getting smoked. And then I just pulled a certain card that did something, and
Turned it all around, and now he's hooked.
well,
Yeah.
literally, long story short, I had 1 health point left, and he had 19, and I ended up beating him. And it was like, holy crap. And I was like, that was really fun. Like, you're literally not out of it until you're out of it. If you can pull,
Now,
the
how
right stuff,
well?
then
How much does your deck come into it? Because I know like the cards you select for any given game might be random, but if you have a completely, I don't know what they're worth now or however you measure it, but I know the hobby's been around forever, and there are certain stuff that's immensely sought after. Does it give you a huge advantage in the game if you have these incredibly rare cards, or is that just the collector's market and has nothing to do with it?
yes and no. A lot of it is just the collector's market, and a lot of it is, and again, this is my rudimentary
Sure.
understanding. A lot of it is just based on rarity of cards placed in packs. It's not necessarily like this $12,000 card is like the end all be all
It's
card
a
and it's going to
nuke.
make you win. Yeah, it could literally just be a card that gives you like 2 land, which is basically your magic points in Magic. So it could just be something like this gives you 2 land, but it's like this great design that they only made like 500 of. So obviously it's just the rarity of the card. But like if you there's plenty of websites you can buy these cards off of them. I think TCG Player is the one for like where you can that's like the card marketplace. You could build yourself a Magic like collection for buying cards that are between a penny and 15 cents a piece, and be able to create a deck that could actually do something.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it's still accessible if I wanted to get
It
into
is.
it as a game player kind of thing, which is probably unlikely knowing me, but it's just nice to know that there are still options.
There are many options, and unless you're playing like super high level, like in tournaments, and depending on what the rules are, there are things called proxy cards, which like just say like, oh, I really want to have like these cards, but I don't want to go spend $350 to
Right.
buy this card. You just create a proxy card that says this is what the card is.
Mm.
Like as long as it falls into whatever the rules are for building your deck. Like
Oh,
if
and
you're
people are
playing
cool
with
with it.
friends,
Yeah.
yeah, no, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that was my next
it's
thought,
just
being me, is like, well, if I'm just playing the game and I don't give a damn about selling them, can I just order knockoff boxes of cards
100%.
off of
100%. You
AliExpress because
absolutely
they
could.
have to exist?
Yeah.
Pokemon counterfeit is widely prevalent, and you can order
Yeah.
what look like the shit. Collectors know they're not real, but if I just wanted to play the game,
Yeah, no, you 1,000% could. You could buy knockoff cards
and
if
there's
you
there's
wanted
not a
to, and go
gambling
ahead and
aspect
play.
to the
And
game where like you lost, so you have to lose your such and such card to that player kind of thing, and then they'd be pissed at me
you,
for having fake cards.
you could, depending on how you wanted to play, you could. I think there is a like a game mode that you could play that's basically basically playing for pink slips. Like
Hmm.
okay, you get to choose a card from someone
Yeah, I
else's
didn't know if
thing,
that's how tournaments and
but
stuff worked or anything. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know enough about it, but I think most like tournaments, you bring your cards, you play your cards, you leave with your cards. That's not to say that you can't choose to do that if you wanted to, but yeah, I saw. I think it was last year, and this is what really got me hooked when I noticed this. And I wouldn't say I'm hooked yet, but I definitely because I haven't spent any money on anything
Good.
yet, and I don't really plan on it because I don't have the money or the time to dedicate that much. But like maybe a couple times a year, or a few times a year, or maybe even once a year, Wizards of the Coast, I believe, is the company that does Magic. They do like, oh my god, my words are failing me.
Mhm.
Mashups. Let's just say mashups.
Sure.
It's not the word I'm thinking of, but like, so last year they did one with Final Fantasy, like
Oh
all the Final
yeah, I've
Fantasy.
seen
So
all that.
like,
People
yeah,
are all pissed off because they did like Spider-Man magic cards and shit, right? And
yeah.
yeah,
But I like as someone that grew up playing all the Final Fantasy games and loving Final Fantasy, and they also I think they did a Lord of the Rings one recently.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
someone that enjoys these properties, it's like, oh, that's really cool. Like I can build a set of Final Fantasy cards, and like I could play Final Fantasy cards, and you could play regular Magic cards. It doesn't matter. It's just like,
Oh, I think stuff that actually lends itself to the world of Magic the Gathering as being in the fantasy fiction realm, like Lord of the Rings,
right,
that certainly makes sense. A lot more so, maybe, than Marvel characters. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
I could see
I
where
also
people
think
could get
people like to get
miffed
mad at
into
stuff.
that, or it doesn't make as much sense, and it's just kind of getting
Yeah.
shoehorned in to then create a new collector market. And these people that just want to play the game are like, ugh, all these people with their collector cards. This is totally me just
No,
like inferring things in my head now, but
it's entirely like I'm so far outside of the fandom of this
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
that because like I said, I've sat down and played once with my buddy for about an hour and a half, and then there is Magic the Gathering Arena, which is a free to play Magic game on Steam, and I downloaded that because I'm like, oh, it'll give me a chance to just
yeah. You
practice
mentioned that.
to
I think that's cool. So you can just play that for free and like play the
yeah.
game, and it doesn't matter with the whole consumerism portion of the hobby.
No,
Yeah,
like you could because just like any other free to play game, you could spend real world money to open packs, to pull cards, to
yeah.
do this. I think that's the if you have money and you want to spend it, do what you want to do with it. I personally think it's dumb, and I would never spend any of the free to play stuff. I've just never got pulled into like Fortnite. I played Fortnite for a while with my
No, that's
cousins.
a bar I
I never
refuse to
spent
cross.
any.
Yeah, I will never spend a
Yeah,
dollar ever.
yeah. The only way I would is if there was a free to play game that had like it unlocks like the rest of the game. If it was a developer I really liked, I want to
It's
reward a
oh,
developer for making something, but
I'll give money to
microtransactions
devs.
I will
Yeah,
not.
no, I'll
Microtransactions are a bridge too far for me.
if even if something's free and I get a lot of use out of it, and they have like what is it, Kofi or Buy Me a
yeah,
Coffee
yeah,
link, I'll throw somebody $5 or whatever, just because hey, this is really useful. Thank you for your work, kind of thing. But microtransaction shit, yeah, I refuse to touch it. And going back to like these handhelds, I've played an embarrassing amount of Call of Duty Mobile on my Odin 2, because it you have full analog sticks and trigger controls and stuff. It makes you feel like a god against people that are playing on a phone, and most likely, just to be honest. Um, but I mean, that's a 10-cent game, so it's just loaded with every microtransaction,
yeah,
splash screen, season pack bullshit that they could possibly sling at you. And yeah, I just refuse to ever take part of it. Now, to their credit, you could actually unlock the stuff by performing well in the game, and it was actually achievable versus some of the games make it feel like a grind that's not even possible or worth what you do
yeah.
unlock at the end, kind of thing. Uh, I'm
I
immune to it.
what
I don't know that my kid will be, and that worries me. He's already talking about Fortnite bucks and shit like that.
eh. So like I'm fine with, and this is my personal philosophy in it. Like I hate microtransactions. I absolutely do. If it's used as a I guess shortcut to unlock stuff that you could conceivably unlock playing through the game,
Hmm.
I'm more fine with that than just having everything locked behind like a limited time. You have to spend 1,000 Fortnite bucks to get this skin that's only gonna be
Well,
here.
that's the
This or
false
that.
sense of
Like
urgency is everything. That's what
exactly.
they
Like
do, yeah.
yeah,
And
I
that's
hate that, but like
it's
if someone
predatory,
wants to
and you
spend
can,
some money,
yeah.
yeah,
You
it's
combine that
100% what it
that
is.
pushing, and that's completely predatory. And then when you factor in loot boxes into the same world, I mean, it's gambling. It's
Yeah,
it's using the same
and
exact techniques as casinos, and yeah, they are doing it to an entire generation of kids who then go right over to what are the waiting gambling
go
apps
to
now, and
DraftKings and
Polymarket and all that shit. So
oh god, I
yeah, it's
didn't
a
even
little
think of
worrisome.
oh god,
But I mean, they're going
I
to
hate
squeeze every
gambling.
drop out of stuff. But we do. But I mean, what have I done over the course of the show? Lament and bitch about the fact that I bought Battlefield 6, which I haven't touched, and we've played a ton of small indie games and hyped them up. So this is it's a result of all of that. I think is the reaction that we get to maybe find better stuff because people are
Yeah,
sick of it. I think there's a lot of
we
walking back a lot of these things. The whole push towards searching for the next live service moneymaker gold mine thing. Like I think they're realizing that it ain't coming. Um, so I don't know.
oh,
It's in such a
um,
weird place.
this isn't something I wrote down for us to talk about or
Hmm.
anything, and I'm not 100% sure it's happened yet, but it is happening. Speaking of trying to find the next live service thing and
Hmm.
everything, I believe it has just recently shut down, or it's going to be shutting down soon. But the game
Anthem.
Anthem
Yeah, I
is
saw that
going
yesterday.
offline or has gone offline. Um, it goes right with what you're saying. I think it's an EA game. I
Yeah, it
believe
was
I
EA.
could
It was
be
like a
wrong.
$1 billion
Yeah,
budget
yeah.
game.
Again, they thought it was going to be this great
It
live
was
service
BioWare.
game.
EA.
BioWare, yes.
Yep.
The same maker. They did Mass Effect, right?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think.
brilliant company. At least they
Yeah.
have been
No,
in
absolutely.
in the past. And what was it Dragon Age on Xbox? That was really good.
Dragon Age, yeah. Yep.
Jade Empire.
But I played Anthem a little bit a while ago. I thought it was a super fun game. Like the flight mechanic. You basically are playing. You're Iron Man. Essentially, is
Yeah,
like
I
this
never
is
touched it, but
the
I
Iron. Yeah.
remember when it came out. You had
Yeah,
the jetpack was
you
a
have
big
these
part of
mech
it.
suits. Yeah, it's essentially if they would have taken that and spun it into an Iron Man property, like that would have been how you wanted to be Iron Man. But there wasn't anything to do. It was the same missions over and over again.
Well,
It's just
yeah, and you see they
it's
couldn't do that with the Anthem, and they built the whole game around that because over here they were
yeah,
doing the Avengers, which was then morphed into a
exactly.
shoehorned live service game that absolutely no one wanted and thus blew up in their faces.
And they did the same exact thing with Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Everyone thought that game was going to look great, and then they found out they turned it into another live service game. Like, stop, just stop. Nobody wants live service games, and obviously, I'm not speaking for everybody when I say everyone, but I think for the most part, a lot of people have been
Kind of
pretty
had it.
outspoken about like we don't want this crap. Give us a game.
Well,
Create a
you got to
game.
let you can't force it. It does it. You cannot force it through marketing. The community has to grow organically, and then you
Yeah,
join because other people are there.
yeah.
You can't just throw it at you and go, Marvel, show up. It doesn't work that way.
Oh, that the new Suicide Squad movie was great, so now we're going to turn this into a live
Yeah.
service game because everyone's going to want to do that.
These
No,
aren't
guess
these
what? It
aren't
was dead before it came out.
these yeah. Well, these are decisions made in a boardroom, not by actual devs, man.
Dollars need to go up.
Yeah, these are publishers. Yeah, that have shareholders accountability and all that good stuff.
it's essentially where we are in the world right now.
Hmm.
Is dollar needs to go up. No one
Yeah.
cares about. And we don't need to get too much
Who,
into it,
what, where,
obviously.
when, why?
But
Yep.
yeah,
Number need to go up. Is that your chump of the week? I know
no,
you had
actually,
something.
I have an actual. I mean, that
You
can
had
be.
something chambered, so I'll happily transition.
Went for our break, but we had issues with our fridge. Had to buy a new fridge that we didn't really want to buy. Still had to anyway. And we had our old fridge, which I don't remember if it's the state of New Hampshire or if it's one of the energy companies in New Hampshire, but they're doing a rebate for like your old fridges. Like
Hmm.
sending your old fridge will give you like a $50, rebate for not putting it in a landfill or
Right.
whatever. So we went ahead and obviously did that because at least, hey, that's essentially an extra $50 off the new fridge we bought. So we called them up, scheduled a time for them to come pick up. The day before they were supposed to come, got it all moved outside, put a tarp over it, and we got snow the next morning. I cleaned up the snow. It was fine. They showed up. I heard the truck at the bottom of my driveway. I'm like, oh, cool. And the whole thing was you put the fridge outside.
Hmm.
You don't have to you don't have to do anything else. Just put it outside where they can get it. They'll come pick it up. They'll leave. You don't even need to be home. I'm like, cool, great.
Yeah,
I work from
curbside
home,
pickup
but
kind of thing.
yeah. But it's not curbside, and this is where we get into it.
Yeah, I think
But
that we
anyway,
might be going this way.
so they said it was, we're not able to get up the driveway. It's too slick. It's too snowy. Blah 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 blah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crap. But okay, whatever. So Caitlin, thankfully, reached out to the person because they never called me to say that they were like, I just heard the truck at the bottom. And
Hmm.
then obviously I work from home. I just went back to work and I was like, oh, cool. They're going to pick it up.
And
And
then the
then a
fridge was
couple
still
hours
there.
later, I look outside and I'm like, the fridge is here. So I had told Caitlin that and she reached out to the person. She was like, oh, our pickup person said that they weren't able to get up the driveway and blah, 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 blah. It was too slippery and this and that. And I'm like, All right, I know that's not true because multiple people have gone up and down this driveway today, so I know that's what. But whatever. So she was like, "Can we reschedule it?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're not scheduled. We're scheduling out until what's today? January 13th. We're scheduling out until the middle of January." And she was like, "Okay, well, we still getting the rebate. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada." So and here we are, Tuesday morning. It's 40 degrees out. It's sunny. There's no snow. There's no ice. There's nothing on our driveway because we've had a slate of both rain and warm weather, and it's so looks like a spring driveway out there.
Yep.
Caitlin texts me this morning and says the guy just called to say that he's here to come pick up the fridge. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And then she's
Can't
like,
get up the driveway.
He says he doesn't want to go up the driveway because he says the truck's gonna bottom out going up the driveway. I went, well, that's not true because we've had multiple box trucks come here since we've lived here to deliver things.
Yeah, UPS has been up the hill.
UPS, Home Depot when they delivered my snowblower. Guess what? When Caitlin's brother had his old fridge that was here and we moved in, the state came and picked up that fridge and they backed up so even they have been here to pick it up.
So it's just laziness, really.
More or less. So she's like, oh, the guy says that he can't do it, this or that. She's like, I told him, or he asked if we could bring it to the, bottom of the driveway. And I was like, no. No. Like, literally all it says is put it outside the house. I'm not walking that, 150, 200-pound fridge down a hill to bring it down there. If he wants to bring a
serious
dolly,
hand truck,
yeah. If he wants to bring a dolly up and, do it himself, sure. But I'm not supposed to, I have no need to do this. So she's like, well, I told him to come up and, knock on the door and talk to you and, just so you guys can figure something out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't know what we're going to figure out, but fine. So I go downstairs and I wait and wait and wait. And then I go walk outside. There's no truck. The guy just basically lied and then just left.
Yeah, he did you the FedEx. He did you the attempted delivery that was never attempted in any way whatsoever.
So, nice nasty gram was sent to the pickup people to be like, I took a picture of the driveway. I'm like, there's literally no, could you guys send someone that knows how to drive a truck, baby? Because there's no reason. But anyway, so I'm going to say that delivery driver is my chump of the week because I still have a refrigerator sitting at the end of my driveway just
so that
hanging
the
out.
State of New Hampshire's pickup fridge technician
See, the thing
guy?
is, I can't remember if it's Eversource or if it's State of New Hampshire, so I'm just going to say that this pickup guy is my chump of the week.
And you are my chump of the week.
Chumps. I think we have ourselves Backlog Buster Brothers to get back into after what feels like months, and it's gonna happen right after these messages.
What up? Are you ready for the best idea ever? Do you have money? Do you want even more money? Well, guess what? We've got a great idea for you. I told you not to stay out of my peripheral through the whole 2, 1. Fight Milk! The first alcoholic, dairy-based protein drink for bodyguards! My bodyguard!
I drink it every morning so I can fight like the crowd.
Let's get out of the way. There we go. It's all about the product shot.
Where do I stand?
Don't do the whole. I want them to see the whole thing.
Fight milk! Frozen! Milk! Made fresh!
By bodyguards and Charlie.
What up? Watch his profits soar high as a crow!
Woo! 3 cups of coffee this morning, folks.
That's why you get so much energy, huh?
Must be.
But yeah, we are almost an hour into this, which isn't surprising. Time flies when you're catching up with your buddies.
Yeah, we trailed off into weird subjects all over the place. I'm having fun. I'm glad to be back.
I don't even know what we're going to title this show.
We'll be structured and have it back next week. People,
Old
don't
Men
worry.
Yelling at Clouds, I guess would be the title of this episode.
Yes.
But yeah, let's get back into Backlog Buster Brothers for anyone that doesn't remember, since it's been about a month since we've done this. Or if you're new to the show, thanks for joining us in 2026. We're happy to have you here, and hopefully you've listened this far. But so Backlog Buster Brothers, essentially, was one of the main reasons we started this podcast was both Nick and I, we love media. Well, let me
Physical
rephrase.
media.
We love collecting physical media.
Hoarding.
Yeah, no, that I didn't want to use the hoarding word.
Oh, that was
but
me
yes,
talking about myself. I could never
Yeah,
accuse
well, no,
you
I
of
mean,
such
we're-
things.
we're same brain on this. But
Oh, I'm
yeah, so
sorry.
it
Who has a drawer full of RAM that is living the high life now? Yeah, I have processors and hard drives too, baby.
okay, I get it. You have a nice retirement fund stashed away. So the idea was basically this would be a way for us to, one, hold each other accountable, which everyone needs an accountability buddy.
Yeah.
But we were going to go through our video games and or TV shows / movies that we have had for who knows how long we've had these
Well,
things.
basically, we talk and you go, have you seen this? Have you watched this? And I go, no. Have you played this? Have you tried? You'd really like this. I think we almost called this show some version of You'd Love It or something like that, because that was constantly what we're doing, is just recommending movies, TV shows, games that the other has played and enjoyed. And based on our extremely similar, I don't know, what do you want to say, personality, twisted brains,
Idiosyncrasies.
broken brains, idiosyncrasies. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Yeah. Yeah, that they would appeal to the other, and so it's just kind of become a fun back and forth for anybody who's not familiar and is just tuning in now. We haven't done it for a couple of weeks because we did our end of year best ofs, both of which I think included things that were assigned by the other. So it's working,
most of it, I think it
Look
was
at that.
actually. Yeah.
right? You assigned me stuff that I watched or played that definitely made mine. I'm trying to think. Oh, I had. Gosh, dead airing again. Nope, brain broken. I'd have to go back and look at the list.
You know what? You could all go back and look at the lists and
Yes,
just
tune into prior episodes. Well, no, I know you had Tim. You had Tim Travers on your list, which I
Yep.
know I assigned you. I had King of the Hill, which I believe you probably
Yep.
assigned me on
Yep.
one of the very, very first episodes. And then beyond that, games are just things that we recommend to each other. That's how I find out about stuff usually, is you telling me about some indie or posting it in Discord. But
and that's
I
why you have
think-
friends.
Yeah, well, that's why we are friends, Wyatt. But I owe you this week. Oh, and we swap back and forth between assigning each other a
Games and
consumable
or media.
movie or TV show or a game to play. Usually games need a little more time to breathe versus a 2-hour movie, so that's why we alternate back and forth. But I have a movie for you if you want.
No. Yeah,
Oh.
why not?
Well, this is one of those things where we recorded our top 5 episodes at the end of the year, and then I watched this before the year was actually over, and have to say, had I seen it prior to recording, I think it would have been one of my top 5 movies of the year. And
So we have to re-record now, is what you're saying.
well, I don't know what would be bumped, and there would be a lot of on-the-fly list. The entire episodes would probably be different if we actually re-recorded them now.
Oh, most likely.
Just because of the fact that we would think of things that we forgot about in the course of doing it last time. But the movie for you that I watched is The Life of Chuck, which is a 2024 American fantasy drama film, which I think that's probably the best descriptor I could really give it as far as genre. But it has Tom Hiddleston, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Mia Sara. I'm just looking down here. Jacob Tremblay, who was the kid from The Room, really has a nice role in this as he's getting a little older. Mark Hamill is in it. And then you get a narrator by one of my favorite people, Nick Offerman. So basically, it is what the title says. It's about the life of this guy, Chuck. But it
This
opens...
is based off of this is based off a Stephen King short story, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Yep.
And it goes backwards, essentially. Not
Benjamin
entirely. It's not necessarily chronologically backwards, but the storytelling arcs go backwards. And yet, it starts literally saying Act 3, Act 2, and then Act 1. That's how the movie is broken up. And yet, while you're doing that, you're also doing a 1, 2, 3, if that makes any sense. I'm doing hand gestures that I'm not sure Wyatt is following either, but that 3, 2,
mementos.
1 is backwards, but you're also doing a 1, 2, 3 narrative.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of you open on these characters with Chiwetel Ejiofor, and he's kind of trying to figure some stuff out, but basically cell phones are going down around the world and communications are kind of just like slowing up, and we're not really sure what's going on, but everywhere there is a broadcast or a sign or anything is suddenly appearing. Charles Krantz, 39 great years. Thanks, Chuck. Everywhere. And nobody has any idea who this guy is, why this stuff is appearing. What is it? He looks like a guy on a billboard advertising an accounting firm. Who the hell is this Chuck Krantz, and why do I care? And that's the only thing any leftover, like if there's still an emergency radio broadcast that's up, they'll all of a sudden pause to break to thank Chuck for 39 years of service. Or, all of a sudden there's a new billboard across town with Chuck on it, and nobody knows who's putting these up. And this is Act 3 of the movie, technically. So it goes from there. It's very different. And I had no idea what to expect. I'd recommend going in dark, as I often do, but you could get hit in the feels. If you're anything like me, it caught me a couple times. And some kind of reminders that we could all use in it as lessons. And I'll leave it at that. But I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. High on whimsy, which we could all use a dose of these days. But also
Amen.
Written by Stephen King. So, you're
But
getting...
the ending sucks is what you're saying.
No, I will not say that. But, Stephen King gives us more than horror. He gives us, Stand By Me and Shawshank Redemption and things like that. He's one of the best storytellers of all time.
He is.
But, I had actually forgotten that he was involved until you had just said at this moment, looking at the Wikipedia, and I was like, oh yeah, it is Stephen King. But now that I'm thinking about it, and a few weeks removed from this, there are just little pieces throughout the movie that I'm like, oh yeah, that's him. That's that's so him. And there's a lot of references in it to things like Walt Whitman, who I think he's used throughout his entire writing career as like an influence, what have you. But I think there's a lot to like here. You would have no problem. My wife loved it. It's got some sad parts, but it's uplifting as well, I would say. So you don't have to look at it as an assignment. Hopefully, it's not going to drag you down. I'm not assigning you, 1917 or anything like that.
Old Yeller.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't there a sequel to Old Yeller? Did that dog die too?
So.
I swear to God, I'm Googling this. And did that dog die too? Well, I mean, he's dead now, but they even had like another song for the second dog.
Apparently Savage
Sam. Savage
Yeah.
Sam. Yep. And God, I remember it. It was during it was in like prime racist days of Disney. So it was about fighting the Indians. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to watch that.
1963 Disney.
Eey.
So then you got a movie, and I guess I'm playing a game?
You are, and actually we're both going to be playing a game, because this is a game that I put a handful of hours into. Wasn't that I necessarily didn't enjoy it, but as a fellow person that I'm sure has diverging interests and can't keep your attention super long sometimes, you might relate. But Hollow Knight.
Oh,
I know.
Okay.
We've talked about it a few times.
Yeah, that's
before.
Pretty much.
I've teased it to you a couple times, saying that I was going to assign it to you, and then went, somewhere else.
That's
but,
probably the definition of this entire venture is something like Hollow Knight that's been in my, I mean to do that, I mean to get to that for literally many years now. How long's the sequel been in development? 8 years, and I've still never gotten to the first one.
Yeah, I'd say the original Hollow Knight came out in 2017. It's created by Team Cherry. It has been released for just about everything at this point. It's one of the games that is universal acclaim, music, gameplay. It's a Metroidvania that is known for being pretty damn tough.
That was my next
it's not-
question. Okay, so
Yeah.
I know that it's known for some crushing difficulty to the point where people complained about the sequel that, like, despite being brilliant, it was so unforgivingly hard that
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of walked away because they just hit a point where they couldn't progress, kind of thing. I'm not sure if that's what I should expect here or if we should expect.
From
Like,
what
Bloodstained
I've
had
played,
some hard spikes. That was not an easy
Yes.
game.
From what I remember, I played this. I probably tried it 3 or 4 years ago. It was difficult, but it wasn't like throw your controller. This is stupid. I can't do this kind of difficulty. It was
Yeah,
just like,
sure.
okay, like you got to learn patterns. You got to learn what the enemies do. It's pattern recognition, like most of these types of games. And I don't think, from what I've seen, this is not nearly as hard as Silksong, the sequel to
Yeah,
Hollow Knight.
what I've gathered. So that's cool.
But I think you'll enjoy it, and if not, at least you can finally say that you've tried Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
and you
if
can
I,
go,
I
"You know
put
what?
6 hours into it and it's
Not
not
for
going to be
me."
for me. Yeah. How
Yeah.
long is it? Like, it was like 10, 12-hour game, something like that?
I was gonna say, I think it's like 10 or probably 15 hours. Let's find out.
This is one of those games, and this is pathetic.
20 hours, about
20
20 to
hours,
40.
okay. Yeah,
depending
okay.
on how much you want.
Oh, I'm sure there's a whole bunch to unlock, isn't there?
Yeah, if for a completionist, you're looking at about 100 hours. Which
Okay.
I don't.
I'm not going to
expect
give it
any of
100
us
hours
to-
before next week. But it's one of these games, and like I said, this is sad, where I very well might have a copy on the shelf for PS4 or Xbox or Switch, and I'm not sure if I do or
And
not.
even if you don't, I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass. It is on Game
Yeah.
Pass. I know that, but that's like
And you might have it on Steam.
The definition of a game that I would pick up at a library sale for $3
Yeah.
without even thinking. So it very well might be on the shelf.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't
cool.
know what I own it for.
I was going to say,
think I
what are you
have
going to play it
Switch.
on?
I don't know.
We can play it on our new
gonna have-
handhelds, streaming from Xbox Game Pass, because that's probably a pretty perfect game for, as long as input lag's not an issue. That's probably
I was going to say
the
that's
perfect cloud
input
streaming
lag
game.
would be. It would need to be good because that's
Yeah.
a game that you're relying on timing. But it's worth a try.
Yeah, well, I'll give it a spin. But I'm excited. Okay, I always love saying, those games that are, oh, you have to play it. You have to. It's Hollow Knight.
Yep.
You have to. Well, damn it, now we're gonna.
Now we're gonna play it. Like I said, I mean, I remembered enjoying it for the few hours that I played it. It just, before I quit the business, my ability to play video games, my time to play video games was so short
It
that
was not. Yeah.
I could play 2 hours one week and then I wouldn't have a chance to even touch something for like 3 or 4 weeks after that. So it'll
I
be
love
nice
the,
now that I actually have some time.
Yeah, I love the art style.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a
The art style
3D
and the
printed
music is great,
Hollow
too.
Knight controller stand over on the table over there. That's actually
So
pretty
you
neat.
definitely
And-
have to play it then.
Yeah, because I'm a poser as it stands now. I have the decoration. Never even played the game.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end. It looks like
said-
we've settled into about, I'd say, a majority of our episodes at about an hour and 10 minutes. So I think we've kind of got down.
I'm looking down a list
Timing.
of topics that we haven't even come close to touching on because we just go down our
Guess
own
what?
fun paths. But guess who has material for next week? All right.
Exactly. So thanks, everybody, for rejoining both of us. And thank you to John Splett from Extra Napkins again for filling in for me last week. I really appreciated it. I just needed an extra week off from the, terrific,
We have real lives
terrific,
sometimes.
horrific grind.
Yes.
Of dealing with Nick.
Well-
2 weeks away from him wasn't enough. I needed another week away.
Can't blame
so.
you there at all. I need a break from me too.
But amen, brother. So yeah, thanks again for listening. And this is We Don't Have It Yet. We do have a website that we still haven't touched. I assume Nick hasn't touched it. I know
Yeah.
I haven't. But at some point, maybe we'll put some stuff up
We're
on
gonna
there
get
if you wanna
transcripts
see our-
going, episode highlights,
writings and musings.
links. Yeah, musings. That's on the docket for 2026. Let's aim for spring. I feel like that's a reasonable goal.
Summer it is. I like it. All right, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.